Hello everybody and welcome to tonight's class. If you can just let me know if you can hear me. I'm just trying to join you in the comments. I don't know, it seems like we have a bit of a lag. I think we're up and running. Yes, all good. You can hear me. Thank you so much. Let me just quickly put the sound off so that it does not bother us. There we are. Oh no. Now everything's trying to open in the background. Okay, so I'm just joining you in the comments, just so I can see who's here. It's not starting on my side. That's fine. So tonight we are doing an intermediate class, which means I will be moving a little bit faster than a beginner class. But if I'm going too fast or you have any questions, please feel free to pop them in the comments. And if I don't get to it, then one of the lovely admins definitely will. I do seem to be having an issue joining you in the comments, but I will get there. So welcome to all of the new people. I see we have a lot of new people that have um, bought machines at HobbyX. That's super exciting. So I do hope that tonight's class will be informative and it's going to help you feel more comfortable with your machine. Sorry, I'm just trying to join you here. Our internet has been a little bit up and down. So if you were in last week's class, you would have seen that we had a bit of an issue where they hit one of the fiber lines. So it's been a little bit wonky, but I'm sure we will get there. If I can just have confirmation from somebody on Facebook that you can see me. Ah, there we are. Okay, finally found you. I had to go the long way around. That was super frustrating. Hello, everybody. Hello, Zelda, Tracy, Carol, Judy, Kim, of course. So now that I know that I am with you, so tonight we are doing a Mother's Day class. We will be making a little Mother's Day shadow box. So there it is there. So I do just want to show you what it started out as. It's actually a money box. So there's a little thing on top. So I bought this from my local China Plaza and I paid 40 bucks. So it's really dirty. Don't judge the dirty. But this is what it started out as. Treat yourself. It's a little money box. So I didn't know that the backings come out. So I chose the pink one because I like the backing. I probably would have chosen a different color. But we are going to be making a 3D flower that we're going to be putting inside, and then we're going to be putting a name on it. So you can put mom, you can put nana, you can put pretty much whatever you want to. So remember, if you enjoyed HobbyX, you enjoyed all of the specials, there are some amazing specials on www.secretsale.co.za, and that is all year round. So you can pop on, place your order, and have it delivered right to your house, which is super exciting. I see everybody's confirming. You can see and hear me. Thank you so much. Okay, so tonight's class is proudly sponsored by Cricut and Logitech. Logitech, let's say that right. And let's get into it. Okay, so we are going to be starting in Design Space as usual. Remember, if you miss anything in the class, you can always go back and watch it on the Cricut South Africa YouTube channel. And this class could be the perfect inspiration for this week's weekly challenge. So remember, every week we have a new challenge unless it's a long challenge, and this week is Mommy and Me, so to make matching items for Mommy and Me. So you could do little money boxes for mom and daughter, and or you could do 3D flowers. You could do something with 3D flowers. It doesn't have to be a money box or a what do you call this thing? A shadow frame, box frame. Okay, so to start off with, we are going to be going to Very Crafty. So Very Crafty is one of our lovely ladies within the Cricut community, and she has some really amazing projects. So this project is basically inspired by her her project that she did. There she is there. So if you are not following her, go give her a follow. She has some really amazing projects that she has shared. So what I did is I went down and I found it. So you can see it's literally almost the same. And then I obviously said edit a copy. And this is where last week's little tip comes in very handy. When you want to copy and paste from one project into another, you can say File, New Window, and then you can actually take this and you can copy it and then paste it into the other window. So I'm not going to do that because I've already got the project set up, but this is literally the flower that I used, and then obviously we're going to size it according to our shadow frame. So I had a discussion with somebody the other day on Facebook, and they said that they couldn't find 3D flowers. So I'm just going to show you a couple of the ones that are available. There's lots of different crafting levels that you can find them for. So you get rolled flowers. Rolled flowers are super easy. I will show you how to make them if that's what you would prefer. And then you also get the more intricate 3D flowers. So you can see there are tons and tons and tons of 3D flowers. If you don't like the flower that I'm using, you can maybe do something like a 3D sunflower. I love sunflowers. They're beautiful. I probably should have done that, but it's a pink frame, so we're doing a pink flower. You can do whatever color you want though. So you can see there are loads and loads and loads. If you're a beginner, then what I usually suggest you do is you refine your search. Is it going to let me do it? It's not. So what you can do is you can refine it if it will open for you and you refine it to Cricut projects. So when you choose a Cricut project, many of the times it has step-by-step instructions on how to actually assemble that project, which is very, very helpful if you're a beginner. It will tell you exactly what materials you need, exactly what blades, etc. And this one actually has the finished flower sizes. So this is not a Cricut project, but she has done her description the same way that a Cricut project would do it, which is very helpful if you're a beginner. It helps you feel more confident in being able to do it. So there are literally 4,478 different projects that you could choose from here. And yes, a lot of them will be duplicates, but there are loads and loads of different ones that you can choose from. And that's probably one of the things I love about shadow boxes is you can just go wild, do whatever you want to do. So if you are not able to find a shadow box and you can only find like a wooden canvas that is open at the back, you could then do flowers that stand out more and make it more of a 3D thing. So just some ideas. Okay, so as usual, I have shared the project on my profile if you'd like to make it there, and you can find those projects by looking for the class visuals. So the last class that we did, I didn't share that project because obviously it had uploaded images, and when you have uploaded images, fonts, etc., you cannot share it obviously for copyright reasons. So the last one was not uploaded, but I did share a step-by-step, sorry, I'm just dusting my machine. I did share a step-by-step on how to create it yourself. Okay, so we're going to say customize. It is a very easy project. We literally copied and pasted. So what I did, we can just move this out of the way. So let's just grab it. We're going to leave the leaves out. Where is our other leaves? I think that's it. Okay, so what I did is I measured the frame and doing that now with the ruler. And this frame was 13 centimeters. So I made the flower, the flat size, a little bit smaller than the frame. So I've gone with 11.6, which is a very random size, but that's what we're going with. And obviously once it's folded, that's going to make it smaller. Then I wanted to add some more dimension to it. So what I did is I went into images and I searched for leaves. And I think this is such a nice way to add a little bit of dimension to shadow boxes, anything to do with 3D flowers. So what I was looking for with this is I wanted dainty looking leaves, but I did not want anything that had too thin of a stem. So what happens if the stem is too thin, because we're cutting it out of cardstock, it will actually shred it. So I just went and I had a look, and then I placed them into my project. So I placed them behind, and I kind of just got them where I wanted them to be. So I've changed the color of these ones to make it a foiled look, just to again give it a bit of dimension. So Zelda says cap artists usually try to put good instructions and tutorials together with their project notes. So yes, cap artists are amazing as well. So if you are looking at images, anything that has this little what is it, this little purple thing, that is by a contributing artist. So contributing artists are people that have created designs, original designs, and they have contributed to Design Space. So it's literally in the name. So we're going to look for a rolled flower now. I think it's 3D flower under here. So again, here you can see there are loads and loads of different ones that you can choose from. So this one with the tiny little whatever you call them, peaks, this turns out like a, I have no words tonight. What are those green little plants that just grow like crazy? I'm not sure. So this one will be more of a rose. This will be more of like, I think, a marigold. So you can see there's a lot of different ones that you can try, and they're loads of fun to work with. So I will add one and we can see. So again, with these, just keep in mind the material that you're working with. So if you're working with a very, very thick material, you obviously don't want to use anything with very, very thin lines. But what I've found with rolled flowers is the thinner the paper is, the better the result is. So that's just my personal preference. I think we will add that one. So with the rolled flowers, the base is this little piece here. So it's going to be a little bit bigger than that. We're just doing a tester one, so I'll stick that like that. Okay, so with the wording, obviously what I did is I stuck it over. So I'll just do a new one. So we're going to add text. This is for the benefit of any new users. So you'll see as you click on your different elements, different things open up at the top of your canvas or at the bottom, depending on which version of Design Space you're using. So remember, you have beta and you have live, which means you have two different versions that you can work in at the same time. So I'm just going to hide those. So depending on what you click on, that's going to determine what opens up for you. So obviously with your effects, that's where you're going to find your offset, your sticker, your warp. Arrange, that's where you want it. So if you want it in the front, behind, in the middle, obviously flip, rotate. If you have two items selected, then you'll see stuff like your slice, your combine, attach, and flatten open up. So remember, flatten is only if you are using print then cut. You're not going to use it for anything else. Attach is when you want two or more items to stay exactly where you place them, or when you want two or more functions to work together on the same mat. So that's when you're going to use your attach. Combine is obviously when you want to make multiple items into one item, and slice is when you want to slice something out of another item. So just for any new users that might have joined tonight. Okay, so we obviously want to use basic cut. If you were going to be doing pen, foil, score, deboss, etc., you would go to your function and you would change it there. So we're using basic cut, we're going to leave it as is, and then we're going to refine it so that we get the font that we want. So you can see there are a lot of fonts on Design Space. There are some really cool categories here that you can choose from. I think I went to decorative. Succulent, yes, succulent. Sorry, so I did explain that there is a lag between the comments and what I'm saying here. So yes, succulents are those plants, and that's what the rolled flower would look like. Okay, so for this, I did want something that was kind of straight. I do love BFC Fantasy Connected. The only problem with this, so let's just put in this, is that you can see it has this little weird square thing going on. So I'm just gonna take that off, and we're gonna look for BFC Fantasy. Hello to everybody that's just joining. So just a reminder, if you've missed anything, you can always go back and watch the live classes. So it's this live class and every other live class that's been done. You can go back and you can watch it on the Cricut South Africa YouTube channel under the live tab. Okay, so there we have it there. So I used BFC Fantasy Stencil. So it's the same font except this is a stencil font, so I don't get that weird little square thing going on. Then what I did is I wanted to make it easier for me to transfer, and I wanted it to be quite bold, if you will. So you can see here, because I've selected something that I can choose a lot of different things, it's actually got this 4 more in the corner. If I click on it, it then opens up more of the options that I can use. So I want to go to effects and I want to use offset, and I'm going to do 0.02. We're going to apply that. So you can see it's made it a little bit thicker, but it still has that same flow to it. It's still the same beautiful font. So that one, we're just going to hide that. I'm just going to unhide this. Oh, I did make it bigger though. I definitely did. Okay, that's fine. So we'll just do it like that. Okay, so we can hide that again, and we're going to make this white. So this is going to be done with white vinyl. So remember, if you're doing something like a shadow box and your vinyl is the same color on both sides, and you can literally just peel the corner to see, you can actually stick your vinyl on the inside if you want to. So Judy said, was fonts not always in alphabetical order? It is, but so I think where the confusion may be is I had actually selected one of the categories, so it removed the fonts that weren't part of that category basically, and then when I unclicked it, it jumped back to the top of the list, so it was easier for me to search BFC Fantasy than it was to actually look for it. So let's see here, if I click on decorative and let's remove that, you'll see that it's still is it? So there, it's not in alphabetical order. So you can see Diamondback, Pen and Ink, Dragon Lord, BFC Pixel. So there, it's not in alphabetical order, and I think it's because I've chosen a category. But if I remove that, then it jumps back to normal, and it all goes more or less in alphabetical, doesn't it? It is just loading, so I'm going to let it do its thing. Okay, so we're going to hide that again, and that is ready to make. So it's literally that simple. If you wanted to cut a backing for your shadow box, you would obviously just measure it. You would insert a square. So one of the things that I said I would show you last week, which I did not show you, and I only realized after the class, so I do apologize, is I said I would show you the pattern fills. So if we change this to print and cut, and we click on the color, you can then click on pattern, and you will see that there are a lot of patterns that come up. So some of these I've uploaded, but some of them are actually part of Design Space. I don't think that's, oh, that's actually cute. I wouldn't use it for this project, but it's actually really cute. So you can go and you can choose a pattern fill for your object. You can then obviously filter and refine that. So, sorry, we want to edit the pattern. So here you can make it bigger, you can make it smaller, you can do all the things. So if you wanted to create your own backing, that's how you would do it. So one of the things I would just say be mindful of is if you look at this pattern, I can see the grid lines through the pattern, which means this is not a solid pattern. So if I tried to cut this, it would cut around each of these little roses. So you would have to have your solid object behind it. Okay, so let's delete that. We are ready to make it. So we're going to say make. I'm just going to... Okay, so if you were doing this on the inside of the glass, you would obviously mirror your design. Should I do it on the inside? Let's do it on the inside. No, let's do it on the outside. We'll do it on the outside. Okay, so this is obviously cardstock. So for this, I'm going to mirror that. For that, I'm gonna leave it as is. For that one, I'm gonna mirror it. And we're just going to move this so that we don't waste cardstock. That one. Okay. We're then going to say continue. We're going to connect our machine. And also just a reminder, I think it's all women here, but hopefully your family's listening and they will hear the reminder. It is Mother's Day on Sunday, so remember to spoil your moms. They deserve it. They have been working hard all year. Okay, so we're going to be using medium cardstock for all of our cardstock, and then for the white vinyl, I'm going to be using the Smart Vinyl setting, Smart Vinyl Permanent, because that is the vinyl that I'm using. So I have a maker, and when I go to make it, it immediately says I should use the single scoring wheel. If you don't have that, you can click on Edit Tools, and then you can change it to your scoring stylus. So we're just going to keep it on the wheel because that's what I have. Okay, so I have some cardstock here. So I'm going to be using pink for the flowers, yellow for the middle of the flower, green for the leaf, and this beautiful foil craft board from Cricut for the other leaf. I do apologize, my neighbor's being rowdy. Very loud. And for all of these, I'm going to be using the LightGrip Mat. It is my same mat from last week. Maybe next class I'll take out a new mat. Okay, so because my mat is a little on the older side, I am going to be using my brayer, and that's just going to help me to get a good cut on the cardstock. And then I'm just going to change this to the single scoring wheel, and I've got my fine point blade, so I'm putting that in clamp B. Okay, very good. And we're going to let that score and cut. So while that's scoring and cutting, I'm going to stick all of this out of the way, and we're going to start preparing our box frame. Zelda said, say it louder for the men in the room that listen, or do they? This is an announcement for all of the men in the room. Yes, you. I'm talking to you. I know you heard me, and I know you're trying very hard to ignore me. Mother's Day is on Sunday, and that beautiful woman in the room with you deserves all of the gifts and a day off. Okay, so you may have noticed that there's actually writing on this frame. So I took a chance on this, and I used some of my crafty knowledge, and I thought to myself, there's one of two things that they've done here. Either they've painted this on, or they have put vinyl on. It can only be one of two things. So I bought it and I thought there must be a way for me to get this off, and it's actually super simple. So I'm going to show you how, just in case you run into this issue. So this is a bit tricky to get out. There it is. Okay, so it's just like a normal box frame. If I wanted to, I could keep this out completely. I didn't know that at the time, and when I felt it inside, I could feel that this was painted on the inside. So I got to work. Okay, so I have some acetone. So acetone is essentially a nail polish remover, but it is stronger. So you're going to want acetone. I guess nail polish remover could work, but it's probably going to be very frustrating for you. So maybe go with the acetone. It's stronger and it's going to get the job done quicker. So what you're going to do is you are going to apply acetone onto your cotton wool. And if you have falsies, make sure you don't get it on your falsies because they'll start to melt. So don't do that. Put a glove on. Whew. Also, maybe don't use it in an enclosed space. So what you're going to do is you're just going to start rubbing it on, and I'm not sure if you can see that, but it is all coming off. So obviously, ow, my mat just assaulted me. So obviously try not to get it on the side of the frame. I did get it on the side of the previous one, and it kind of took a little bit of the color off, but it's fine. This is maybe going to make my fingers purple for the rest of the class. But I did just want to show you this because I think we've all run into these issues before. So what I like to do is I like to feel whatever print it is. Very often you can get the print off with acetone, but you obviously have to worry about oh, that's strong. Yeah. You obviously have to worry about what it is on. So if it is on plastic, acetone can obviously eat plastic. But if it's on glass, then you're usually good. I've had plastic tumblers before where there was some print on it, and I just very quickly wiped it with acetone. Obviously didn't let that soak, and it came off perfectly, and they were like perfectly normal tumblers. Okay, so these are our 3D flowers. I'm just removing them from the mat, so I'm bending my mat away not very well. And just getting them off. So you can see I'm bending my mat a bit too much, but it is already old and it's time for a replacement, so that's the level I'm at with it. Don't do that unless you're ready to give up your mat. So this is our rolled flower, and I'm going to show you how to put that together. It's really simple. So this is great for beginners. Okay, here we are. Whew. I maybe shouldn't have used acetone in such an enclosed phase. It's very strong, just saying. Okay, so next we're going to do our yellow, which is obviously the center of our flower, because once I have that, then I can start assembling as busy with the rest of the stuff. So for the center of the flower, it's just basic cut. We're going to manually fold this. So we're not going to change our blade. Why did I cancel the cut? Okay. So I'm just going to give this another wipe with the acetone, then I'm going to go in with a wet wipe, and then I'm going to finish off with alcohol. All of the chemicals today. So also just a reminder, acrylic keyrings, do not use acetone on them. It actually cracks them, like eats at them. So do not use it on acrylic. Do not use it on plastic. And obviously it removes paint off of certain surfaces. Sorry, I had a go. Okay. then I'm just going to wipe it obviously with a wet wipe, and that's just to clean it because it's been sitting where it's been sitting. So this is just to clean it, make sure there's no dirt and or acetone residue, if that's a thing. I see Zelda is advocating for a full tank of petrol for Mother's Day, so with you on that one. I think that is such a romantic gesture. Again, if any husbands are listening, if you have done wrong this year and you need to make up, now's the time. Okay, so I'm finishing off with some rubbing alcohol, and that's just to clean it. So I found that, oh, let's see what's stronger. I found, sorry, that cleaning glass with rubbing alcohol is the best way to prepare it for vinyl. Obviously, you don't want to use anything that's going to leave a residue. So your hand sanitizers, etc. A lot of those have oils in it that leave your hands feeling not dried out. So you want to stay away from those. This is I think it's a medical grade, so that's what I said be careful of. You don't obviously want to strip your frame of color. Okay, I think that's clean. Looks clean. Okay, we're good. So that is a nice way to find cheaper items that you can thrift and make into something amazing. You don't always have to go and find the most expensive box frame. Sometimes you can find the cheaper ones and you can make them work for you. Okay, so again we're doing medium cardstock, and I'm just making sure that it is not larger than what I have available. So we're going to start with our rolled flower, and these scissors are not scissors, tweezers are actually great for rolled flowers. So I never really understood the point of these going back to front, and the point of them is actually so that you can grip and hold without actually having to squeeze and hold. So you can actually hold it. I do prefer my normal tweezers though. So what you're going to do is you're going to grip the edge and you're going to roll it. And I use my finger just to what do we call this? Just to guide it so that everything's going straight, like so. Just like that. Once you get to a certain point, you can actually pull the tweezers out and you can just do it by hand. So you're just going to go all the way around, just rolling it. Like so. And then when you get to the end, so what you're going to do is you're going to roll all the way, and this little piece is going to fold. Sorry, I'm doing it a little bit messy because I know I'm not using it. So that piece goes at the bottom. So what you're going to do is you're going to let your flower go so that it comes out a bit. So you can see I've rolled it super tight, and then I'm just letting it unroll a bit. And then what you're going to do is you're going to use your glue gun, as you'll see me do shortly. You're going to add your blob of glue. You're going to stick it onto the bottom. Then what you can start doing is you can start curling your little pieces out if you want to. Not all of them needed, obviously. And there you have your rolled flowers. So That would obviously be if you wanted to do a whole bunch of rolled flowers. You maybe wanted to do the heart. What you could do then is you could have your piece that goes on the back with a heart drawn on it, and that's going to be your guide of where to stick your flowers. So it is very, very simple. There it is there. Just like that, we have a rolled flower, and obviously with those you can also add leaves if you wanted to. So we have a small business class coming up, and I'd love to know, without naming your business and without tagging your business, what do you do as a small business? I know we focused on Mother's Day right now, but I think we have such a diverse community here, and it's interesting to know what people do in their businesses. So one of the things I like to do is I like to make candles, and then I also like to work with gypsum. So those are my non-Cricut things that I enjoy doing. And I've found so many amazing ways that I can include my Cricut machine in that process. So I think it's always interesting to find out what other people are doing and how they are including it. And or alternatively, if there's something that you do and you haven't yet found a way to include your Cricut in that process, maybe we can help you find a way. So if you are just joining, we are just busy cutting the elements for our shadow box. We have obviously gone through the Design Space process. If you have missed anything, you can always go back and watch it on the Cricut South Africa YouTube under the live tab. Oopsie, I almost lost my leaves. Oh, that's the wrong one. So I did just put that on the wrong one. Obviously, just make sure you're on the right mat. Okay. So for this one, what you have to do is you have to fold it in half, like so. And I just did this by hand. It doesn't matter if it's exactly together at the bottom because you're not going to see that part. So you can see it's got all these little cuts that have been made. So Natalie says she does personalized gifting and events. I've seen some of Nat's work, absolutely stunning. And Amy says you can make templates for polymer clay earrings. I've actually done stencils for polymer clay earrings before, and that was loads of fun. So 100% recommend. Okay, so we have that, and now we're going to do exactly what we did with our rolled flower, and we're just going to roll. So I should get my glue gun ready for this. Someone please just WhatsApp me after the class and remind me to put the glue gun off. Okay, so we'll stick that under there. Let's get our glue gun ready. Oh, Alba says she works a lot with leather and metal knives and seats. Did I say that right? I've actually seen some of the work and it is absolutely gorgeous. And if I remember correctly, you did include your Cricut machine in that process. So that is really, really cool. I love the diversity of what everybody comes up with. It's very interesting to see. I just need to find my red. Oh my goodness, I had everything sorted and then I lost the red. Oh no. Oh no. Oh, found it, found it. Can call off the search, it's here. So again, all of these just medium cardstock. The only one that I've deviated from the medium cardstock setting is this lovely foil one, because this is a craft board, so it's thicker and you can actually feel that it's thicker. Okay, so what we're going to do now is we're just going to roll this in the exact same way that we did our rolled flour. So we're just going to roll it up, and you'll see that as you're rolling it, it kind of it curls a little bit funny, but that's completely fine. Just keep squashing it down and go. You'll see once we're done, you don't notice that little bulge that happens. So. I don't think I'm allowed to sing what comes to my mind, and I also don't think I'm allowed to repeat what you've just said, Zelda, because I'm pretty sure Facebook will flag me, and we don't want that. So I'm just rolling it in a circle, and I'm just kind of squishing it down as I go. But you can see it's giving it that lovely flower center look. So you can see I'm kind of being a little bit aggressive with it. But in the end, it will all look good. I promise. Ish. I promise ish. Maybe. Okay. So there we have it. Let's just unload this. So you can see from the bottom, not super neat. It doesn't matter. You're not going to see the bottom. You are not going to see this part. No one is going to see this part. This is just between us. Your code. So this is the foil, deluxe foil board from Cricut. It is an older product, so I'm not sure if it is still available, but I absolutely love it. And if I'm not mistaken, I think Natalie might have at some point maybe debossed on it. I could be wrong. I could be making things up. It happens sometimes. So what I'm going to do here, just for my own sanity, is I'm going to just put a dab of glue on this edge, like so. Oops, the glue gun's not ready. It's not ready. Just give me a dab. You can see I'm shaking. Ow, come on. Okay, it's not ready. Darn. I should have put it on earlier. Okay, we're going to use our other glue for a second, just to free up our hands. Okay. So the last piece that we are cutting is our wording that's going to go onto it, and that's all of our elements cut and ready. So how is everybody doing in Cape Town? I see the weather has been absolutely horrific. So what made me think of it is that I once again found some cat hair on my vinyl, and that is because we had literally 2 thunderbolts in Durban the other day, and my cat almost had a nervous breakdown. She ran here, and I had to make her a little bed on the table, and that's where she's been sleeping all week, on the table. So her hair is everywhere. Okay, so that's ready. We're going to cut that, and we're going to continue assembling this. So this little piece, I stuck it underneath, like so. So remember all of the ugly I told you that you're not going to see? I was being honest. So we're just going to stick some hot glue. Where's my hot glue? Ah, there we are. We got hot glue. Okay. So we're just going to stick this in here. Like so. Very, very easy. And that is our centerpiece, and that is ready to go. Then what we're going to do is you'll see that each of your, stick that there. That's going to give us some more space to work on. Okay, so you'll see that each of these has a little score line down the middle. So first you're going to obviously on the edges like so. And all of this is by score line, so it's really, really easy. So you're just going to be following your score line. So there, you can do the centers. like so. So what I like to do is I'm actually pushing into the score line, and that's making it easier for me to fold, and then you don't get those weird folds where they shouldn't be, kind of thing. Like so, like so. Very, very simple. Boom, 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 boom. And we're just going to do that for all three of these quickly. So again, same process, I'm pushing into it and I'm curling the edges out. Now if you had something like a Joy Xtra where you couldn't score, these are absolutely easy enough to score without your scoring tool. So you can remove the scoring lines and you can just manually score it. So what you could do then is you could put something in between the two in the center and then just fold it around. It would work perfectly. And just again. Okay, so all of those are ready. Now for this one, this one doesn't have scores, so we're literally just folding it up. So what I'm doing is I'm using my nail on the edge like so, and that's going to go around there. So what we do is we're now going to, oopsie, now my glue gun's awake. We're going to apply some glue there. So I put a bit extra so that it will leak onto the edges, and then I'm going to be able to curve this around. So there was a method to that madness. I don't know if it worked though, to be honest. I just got glue on my fingers. Okay, that's fine. So we want that to curl upwards like so. And we want it to be straight and not have glue strings. You don't want glue strings. Glue strings are the worst. Okay, so I'm just curling that around it nicely. And then we're going to do the same here. And we're just going to keep layering this. Ow, and don't burn yourself. Like so. And you can see it slowly starting to come together. So you do want just a touch on the outside edge, like literally just a touch, not too much, because you want there to be a little bit of stiffness on these edges, not too much. Hope that makes sense. Like so. And then we're going to add our next one. So when you're adding them, you want to alternate them, like so. Oopsie. I think I'm just adding the glue off screen because I'm trying not to burn myself or anything else. But it's glue from the glue gun. Okay, so we're alternating like so. And again, I'm just folding it up. This is just helping it to sort of know what to do. And then last one, so I am just adding glue. Oopsie, that was a bit much. That was a bit much. Oopsie. Okay. Get it together. And again, we're just alternating it so that the leaves, the petals sit, that one's hot, sit in between each other. And there you have, is that alternated? Yes, there you have your flower. It's ready to go. So easy to make. There was a lot of talking in between, but that was super easy. So then what we're going to do is we're going to take our little backing, and we're obviously going to just get this how we want it, and we're going to place our leaves. So I place them first just to make sure that everything's right before I start adding glue. So obviously you want to make sure that it does not go outside of your square, because if it goes outside of your square, when you try and put it into the frame, it's going to hook and you're not going to get it right. And then I just stick it on top to see that I'm happy. So these ones, I want them out slightly. I do want them out a little more, like so. Now you can, if you want to, 110% can individually put these down and stick them. I don't want to do that. I just want to stick it like this. So I don't want, oh, glue string. I don't want the edges of the leaves to be stuck down. I want them to be free, but I do want the centers stuck down because I obviously don't want it to fall off. So we're just separating these slightly. Push that one in. This must go in a bit. Remember, I'm just trying to make sure it doesn't go over the edge, because if it goes over the edge, our frame's not going to close properly. Okay, so obviously make sure we are centering it, like so. Get rid of all those glue strings, my goodness. Sorry, glue strings are sticking to me. Okay, then this is obviously our backing that's going to go on, so we can stick that back onto there just to make it a bit easier for ourselves. And then you just want to check your backing. So one side of mine has a hanging thing. The hanging part has to be on the same side as the photo frame, the little hole, that thing. So we're going to stick that in there. That wasn't very straight. There it is there. Very cute. Very, very cutesy. So the last thing we need to do before we are done is obviously add our vinyl onto it. And I wanted to wait until the end so that I could obviously see what the end result kind of looks like when I am applying the vinyl. So we're just going to quickly weed this. If you have not seen it, the hooked weeding tool is an absolute lifesaver. I love this. And there, just for viewing sake, is our other rolled flower next to it. And we are using standard grip transfer tape, so remember your strong grip is only for textured vinyls. So your textured metallic, your shimmer vinyls, anything like that, that is where you're going to use your strong grip transfer tape. If you use a strong grip on a normal vinyl, then you risk not being able to remove transfer tape from the vinyl, and your whole project could potentially be ruined. Could, maybe, possibly. Okay, so if you were doing this on the inside of your frame, you would have obviously applied this before you put the flower in, and you would make sure that you're getting no bubbles. So I will show you. You can see that this is white on the front and the back, so I could have put this at the back, and I'm putting it on the front. What are the benefits of putting it inside instead of on the front is that they can actually wipe the frame, and they're not going to get dust on the name. They're not going to pull it off. So there are actual real benefits to having it on the inside. I don't know why, I just opted for the outside. Okay, so our last part now. So honestly, it's a money box. It's a shadow box, but it's a money box. And I paid $40 for it. And they had pink ones, and they had purple ones, and they had silver ones. Again, I went for the pink because I saw the backing and I thought, okay, well, you know, the backing's nice. I can use it for Mother's Day. So we're just going to try and place this semi-straight. I'm just battling to see with the light. We're invested now. And one of the things that you should remember is you only want to really scrape while the transfer tape is still attached. If you're scraping once you have removed the transfer tape, you're actually going to land up scratching your vinyl. So you only want to use your scraper when your transfer tape is still attached. So do all of your scraping then, and then once it's removed, try not to use your scraper because you will scratch your vinyl. And there it is there. Absolutely cute. So when I shared this on Facebook, I shared it as a project for under 50 Rand. So you saw I used a bunch of offcuts, vinyl offcuts. I used cardboard offcuts. I've literally only used one full sheet of cardstock, which costs like 7 Rand. So this is a very cost-effective gift, and it's so cute. And if they wanted to, they could obviously still use it as a money box. Obviously, you're not going to get much money in there. Maybe it should be the notes. So that is our class. I hope that it has inspired you. I hope I'm going to see a lot of, sorry, the light is just killing it. There it is there. So I hope I'm going to see a lot of flowers, whether they be rolled flowers, 3D flowers, shadow boxes, cards with flowers, anything, in the coming weeks. It's really such a beautiful thing to do. I've seen people that do wall murals with big flowers, and I absolutely love it. So I can't wait to see everybody spin on it. You can obviously use shading on your flowers. There's just so much that you can do. So Carla said, sorry, she missed it. Where did I buy the small box again? So I got this from my local China Plaza. That's what it's called. It's called China Plaza. I often go there and I look for blanks because they often have like cutesy little things that are super cheap, and then I can repurpose them. So unfortunately, I don't know if everybody will be able to get these, but maybe maybe they might be at one of your China Plazas, or yeah, hopefully. So thank you. Thank you, Albus. Albus said I need to remember to switch off the glue gun. I actually just did. Thank you so much. There will be no burning down of houses today. So thank you so much for joining. I hope that this class was informative, and I hope that it was inspiring. I hope that you all get absolutely spoiled for Mother's Day. You deserve it so much for all of the love and effort and energy that you pour into everybody around you. I've seen it in the projects that are shared on the group. Thank you to everybody who shares their projects. We absolutely love seeing it. If you have not entered the Mother's Day weekly challenge, please do. I can't wait to see what you're going to make. Have a good evening.